Hey y'all, it's Dre from Under the Leaves, and this is technically a part 2 video. Today I'm going to be repotting 11 Hoya that I got from Plant Haven, Toronto, and taking them out of the moss that they come in and transferring them over to a chunky soil mix. So I just need to give y'all a little breakdown. I was initially planning to put these plants into Molly's aeroid mix. I like Molly's mix. However, Molly's is very, very chunky. I do not want to be watering my plants 7 times a week. That's a drag, but I don't even want to do it more than once for most plants. And if I have to start watering the plants twice and it's this weather, that's not going to be a banger for me. But I do like the idea of amending Molly's aeroid mix with other like coco coir that retains just a touch more moisture. So yeah, that is a part of the plan. All of these Hoya are going into smaller pots. So something I really don't want is that they're in a smaller pot and they need to be watered even more. So something else about these pots that I got, I like the pot size. I like the number of holes, but for some reason, what I was noticing is that the water will kind of accumulate in these little corners right here and not come out. So my plan is to be a woman in tech. I ordered a soldering iron, and I am going to just simply make some holes right in them corners where the water was like accumulating. Wow, this is so cool, actually. So sorry. I'm like really and truly a woman in tech. Wow. Yeah, and then I'm also just gonna add a little hole in the center there. And I've just like kind of amended it. So it looks like it has hella holes, but where the water was accumulating, I definitely want it to be able to come out. So that's just what I'm gonna do. And once I'm done with that, we'll be right back. I'm not gonna include that in here because it's gonna take forever. I have 11 pots to do. All right, y'all, so I just finished all my pot bottoms. 10 out of 10 recommend the soldering iron. I remember when the girls, I was like, I'm not spending, it was $9. Get one. Yeah, it really will help, especially if you're a person that's on a budget. You'll be in that Dollar Tree seeing all these little plastic pots or whatever, and that will really help. Also, I know it's probably like, why not just reuse the containers that you already had? The reason I'm moving them is because I need to be able to see. I need to be able to see. This clear pot is what I need in life. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna grab some of this. I have this thing, it's like aeroid plant mix, whatever. I don't even, really and truly, I ordered it. Do I remember what's in it? No, but I think it's mostly like cocoa stuff. So I'm gonna put some of that. I'm gonna put a good amount of that actually, let me not play. Just do a little bit more because honestly, this might be my new way that I use Molly's, because I really do like the Molly's. It's just that it dries out fast, and for me it's wintertime, like, okay, or spring, whatever. I don't know what is it gonna mean in the summer. Oh goodness gracious. So this is what the mix is looking like right now, but I do want it to be a little chunkier, so maybe I could have just potted it straight into Molly's. Maybe I was bugging. I don't know. I'm just scared it's gonna be a little too thin. I put a little too much of the initial aeroid mix, so I'm gonna just grab something real quick. All right, I'm back. Goodness me. So to this mix, which I'm hoping this is enough for the little tiny plants, I'm gonna add the rest of this orchid bark that I have that has some charcoal. I'm gonna just throw that in there. Anyway, I'm gonna just mix that into this, because I think what that will do is just add a little bit more something to it. There we go. I think this is the texture I was going for, where I want there to obviously be some stuff that is going to hold moisture, but I want there to be enough chunk that there is aeration. Because fun fact, Hoyas are epiphytic, which means they might grow up trees or grow up bark and all that kind of stuff, and they're not necessarily rooted into the ground for the whole duration of their life cycle. That is not how I'm gonna grow mine though, but we know. I'm just trying to do my best to give it a fighting shot. So let me set my little self up. Ciao. Okay, word to being resourceful. I'm gonna use that orchid thing to catch all the moss. We're gonna start with, oh my God, did my baby fall? We're gonna start with Miss Eye. Here we go, Eye. Here we are. Okay, I honestly am so nervous right now about taking this off and taking off this moss, because the thing is, the color of the moss and the color of the roots, how can you know? Like, how, oh my God. I'm trying to figure out what is the method. This is, okay. I can't tell if I'm looking at root or moss. Oh my goodness. Okay, I've actually decided just on a whim. Should I be wetting this moss? Okay, so I think I'm gonna use this empty plant pot and I'm gonna fill it with some water, because I think it might be easier to get the moss off if it's wet. I don't know. That might have been stupid, but in my head it would be helpful. I don't know. Okay, maybe it was stupid, maybe it wasn't. I literally, this is horrible. This feels like Mission Impossible, bro. Okay, so I'm seeing, and then there's roots that's like real. Oh my G. Oh, this is wicked. Okay, this is actually so OD. I literally can't. All right, y'all, this is OD. I'm actually not going to root anything in moss, because the fact that you would have to do this and ensure, I definitely have pulled off some roots, bro. There's no way. And I don't want to leave like big clumps of moss, because I'm scared that when I do water it, the moss will hold too much water and rot the roots. Okay, this side looks much better, but that's all I'm gonna take off. And now I'm questioning my choices. Like, is this, am I ODing? Do I need smaller? Am I ODing, y'all? Like, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it'll be fine. Yo, I'm cracking myself up. I think it'll be fine. Yeah, so I'm gonna take this pot. I'm gonna just put a little bit of soil at the soil. Just a little bit of the substrate at the bottom. Because honestly, this is really not even all that much. Maybe even a little bit more. Like, even, is this root rot? Like, bruh. Okay. Ha ha ha. Oh my God. Okay. So I put it back together in the pot. I am shooketh. We'll see how this one goes, but it had barely any roots. And I just potted it up, and this is kind of what it's looking like right now. We're just gonna see at this point. There's really not much else we can do. All right, y'all, so let's get to chatting. So I recently got into Hoya. Also, this next one I'm doing is the Hoya Rosita. This is what she's looking like. Oh, she's wobbly. This is what she's currently looking like. Yeah, I have to say, this is really gonna be such a learning experience for me. Yeah, I can tell that this one isn't going to be very much so rooted. I'm not gonna lie, I think I actually would appreciate buying cuttings more so than buying plants that are coming to me as propagations. Oh my God, on today. Because I cannot tell the difference between the color of the roots and the moss. It's kind of stressing me. And like, the moss is really, like, it is really packed on and around, especially at this base here. And I'm trying not to like pull anything too hard. like even right now, I cannot tell, like for the life of me. Here's my thing. I don't even know how these plants are gonna turn out for me to say that I wouldn't order from Plant Haven Toronto. I like the selection. I think I won't until after I see how all of this goes for me, because I truly, this moss is really not it. And also, this is literally like, at this point, it could have just been that you was giving, it's like a barely rooted cutting. Like, that's not even fully, oh, stop tracking me. There we go. This is just what I'm seeing, and I still have moss. This still has moss on it. I don't like this. I do not like this at all. Okay, I want to get the final moss off the roots, but like these roots are also fine. I am still trying to get all the moss off the freaking thingy. But I think I've done what I can, and at this point, this is what I've got here. And looking at this pot, I don't know, I just feel like this might be way too big. Like, looking at the size, oh my god, how much smaller can you go at this point? I could put it in like a cup and let it grow inside one of my cups first. It does grow under grow lights though, and it was in all that moss, so I think it'll be fine. That is Miss Rosita. We just gonna really have to hope and pray. Honestly, for all of these, we're just gonna have to hope and pray. I almost forgot to put the tab back in Miss Rosie. All right, y'all. I don't know how people be doing this, but this is the Multiflora Javanica Thai Splash. I'm almost sure. Okay, so now this one is more rooted. Somebody send help. This one has significantly more roots. I am just trying to break up all right, let me show y'all when I say it's more rooted. Hopefully you can see there are more roots. So now I'm just like, okay, maybe those first ones will probably stall for a little bit because they're not rooted. But now that this one is more rooted, I'm just kind of like, but now even more perplexed about the removal of the freaking like the substrate. And now I'm wondering, like, what is the best way? This is really my least favorite thing I've ever done plant-wise. And it's not the repot, it's really just removing this freaking moss. I wish I could understand, like, is it easier? Can somebody let me know? Is it easier for if you're like, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm wondering if wetting it, this one will be helpful. I'm gonna just do it. Okay, I think wetting it is helping me so that I can distinguish now at this point what is root and what is moss. Okay, because this one is well rooted, it seems. Yeah, this is annoying because you just have to disturb the roots then, I guess, right? And in the case of something like this, like, there's no way. And I know people always say historically, they're always saying like Hoyas don't like their roots disturbed and this. So like, what would be the point in propagating it in moss? Oh my God, I just took a whole root. Y'all, this is so unfortunate. This went from being one that was so well rooted to me losing so many roots. And I don't know if it's because I'm being too rough. I really don't even know at this point. Okay, so this is what the root system is kind of looking like right now on the Multiflora. There's another piece here, and I think I might just, it's so little, I think I'm gonna just propagate it. I think I'm just gonna throw it in my prop box, and maybe I'll propagate it in fluval stratum and see how that goes. Actually, that's actually exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in fluval. So I'll just put this to the side here, and any little ones that I feel like I'm a little too nervous to put directly into soil, I will put them in fluval. Didn't get all, like, there's still little bits of moss, but there's no way for me to get this off without like ruining these roots. But yeah, this one I think will be fine in this pot. This is truly, I don't want to say a disaster, but like scary. Wherever the Hoya people are, send your thoughts and prayers, because not only is this like my first Hoya repot as a plant parent, but it's gotta be like taking off the freaking sphagnum and oh Jesus. Anyway, that's what this one is looking like. I think this one will be fine. Hopefully that's not famous last words, but I do think this one will be just fine. I'm getting nervous. Okay, I'm gonna do another small one. Some of these seem a little bit more sturdy. We're gonna see. I just really don't even know what I want anymore. Like, let me put the freaking multifloras thing back in. These little balls are stressing me out. Like, oh my goodness. I think this one I'm gonna try to not, I'm not gonna soak it in the water. Just try to tease out some of the chunks that come off first. Yeah, maybe by the end of this, I will have developed a freaking method. I did try to look some up transparently before saying, oh, I'm gonna take these out, da da da. I did look into like tips, and honestly, I think this is similar with like Hoya in general. Is the tips, they're not universal. Like, people will tell you, somebody will tell you one thing, another person tell you another thing, and something I'm learning is you just gotta do what you think is best for you. I also do want to make sure that I'm not like doing what's horrible for the plant, which is also why I am even repotting them to begin with, because I figure if I actually want to give them some kind of chance in my house, I need to be able to understand the medium that they're potted in, and I don't get sphagnum moss as of right now. That's not necessarily something I am super familiar with. Propagation wise, I started off as a water girl and I continue to be a water girl. I've done some props in sphagnum, but with things that have thicker roots. So like the fact that these don't have thick roots, I think it's also making it hard, because with things that have thicker roots, it's much easier to remove the sphagnum moss than stuff that has like a thin root system. I think I won't wet the next few ones. I think that is actually also not helping me. And I'm also trying to like grab, like, instead of, I don't know what I'm doing, child. Let me not even sit here and try to make it seem. I'm basically trying to look around, and before I pull, seeing if there are roots attached, and like getting a piece of moss and like pulling the strand instead of just like aimlessly like emptying it, kind of how you would do with soil, because the moss, the roots can like kind of grow into the moss, if that makes sense, or like they attach to the moss. I didn't even mention, this is the kaimuki. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. Okay, I don't know, yo. I don't know. I do not know how people been doing this. Like, it is really mind-boggling. I'm gonna have to actually say Team Dave all the way on this one. I can't be the, maybe, yeah, I don't think it's ever gonna be me to decide that. I don't care if it speeds up the rooting process. Maybe that's what it is for sellers. But for me in the house, yeah, I don't think I could be a sphagnum girl, because this is out of pocket. If I had did this to myself, I think I would be even more frustrated. So these are the roots on the kaimuki, and there are definitely still pieces of sphagnum. I just don't know if I'll be able to get that off. Yeah, I can't take off all those like itty bitty pieces, but the roots are pretty long, which thank goodness. So let's grab the pot, see what it's hidden for. Okay, so the first two was scary, and maybe that's really all that was. Now I'm gonna put it to be in the center of the pot. All right, so this is the kaimuki potted up. And all of these are also gonna get watered through after this, just so that they get stuck in a pot. But again, they do have good conditions to adapt in. So there's at least that. All right, so this one looks like it's gonna be one that doesn't have much of a root system. And this is my Hoya Ann. I'm just starting with giving it a little bit of a tease out. Okay, are those roots? What is going on? I can't even tell. Yo, I'm actually in tears right now. What is this, bro? What is this? And here's what my thing is. Why can't you, instead of giving it to you in this big pot of moss, which can't even be cost effective for people, because like, if anybody knows how much moss costs, then you know, you feel me? Like, that can't even be cost effective, right? Why not just give you little packets with the moss? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not just give you little packets? This is what you get. Okay. Why not just sell it to you with a little bit of moss wrapped, like just a little twips versus all of this? You know what I'm saying? Because if you really do let it root into that, I don't know how you transfer it over to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you make that happen. But yeah, I'm trying to understand, and at the same time, I don't understand. But anywho, let's just get that out of here. Grab the next one. Now I feel even better about the fact that I put more of the orchid bark, because these don't really have established, like, they have root systems, but they're not filling up this pot in any way, shape, or form. So because of that, I'm glad that the mix is gonna be very well drained. All right, so that's Miss Ann. She's looking cute in here, but I'm a little scared for her. I won't even tell a lie. This is my next one. Y'all, I thought I was gonna be kikiing, chit-chatting, but instead I'm just traumatized and trauma bonded on the internet about this freaking sphagnum moss. Oh, my bad, y'all. This is the Calistophylla. And we just gonna have to really put some thoughts and prayers out there, because I really, 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 really want this one to make it. I want all of them to make it, but oh my goodness. Not me sitting here with my mouth open. This went from something I didn't think it was gonna be this OD, but it really is. Like, wow. All right, after 75 years, this is what the Calistophylla roots are looking like. And I am gonna actually do it similarly to how they did it, which was having the 3, but essentially just keeping the 3 leaves this direction, and I'm gonna pot this. I'm pretty sure there's still a little bit of moss, but I feel like trying to rip all the moss off is it's gonna lead to a worse outcome. And that is the Calistophylla. Okay, all right, so next is the Hoya Jennifer. I'm actually just gonna take off, well, it fell off so easily, that leaf. Okay, this one definitely has roots. We are gonna do our best to not rip them all out, because I definitely know that there's no way that some of these roots are not coming off. And that's just word to being like sensible. And it's getting mad late. I did not think this was gonna take this long. Yo, this one might actually not be able to get potted up. Like, it has roots up here, but down here things are looking sparse. This is freaking diabolical, G. And there's a part of me that's like, maybe just put it into the freaking substrate. I am gonna run that risk. I'm gonna just put it in the freaking substrate. It might take longer, but hey, what can we do? All right, so that is the Hoya Jennifer. Yeah, Hoya Jennifer put together. Lord have mercy. All right, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. I definitely did not repot all of them, but your girl is tired. I'm sleepy, so I am going to call it a night. I'll repot the rest of them off camera. This was such a chaotic vibe. Like, this was chaotic. I'm glad I did not repot the one that was my favorite on camera, because the way that this was stressful was really out of pocket. I will also keep y'all posted on how they fare and how they do after the repot, and just like what they're looking like, how they're adjusting. With that being said, thanks so much for stopping in, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.